So just waiting for the current 15-minute candle to close. We've still got a little while, still got 13 minutes. So I'm in no rush. So far, looks like we're going to be within the overnight range, specifically on the DAX. I'm trying to avoid the FTSE where possible, just because of the spreads that come with it. They can be a little bit frustrating to deal with, whereas the DAX is pretty much razor thin. So DAX is priority, but obviously if DAX doesn't give an entry, then we move over to FTSE. Um, so that's the situation there. Um, mm, mm, mm. Okay, so let's have a look. What's the market looking like overall? Clear uptrend on the daily, had a pullback. We're approaching previous all-time highs quite quickly actually on the DAX. The FTSE similar as well. However, the FTSE has more of a sideways trending behavior, so it doesn't mean too much on the FTSE. H4 on the FTSE is very bearish. DAX still looks relatively bullish, although it might be a little bit exhausted at current levels. It's had quite a large push already. Kyra, I'm good, thank you. How are you? Are you okay? I hope you've had a good week. Uh, H4, H4 and FTSE looks bearish, so that's swaying my bias a little bit. However, the overall trend here, it remains bullish. The H4 DAX is okay. H1, bearish on both. We are currently bouncing between pivots actually on the FTSE, rejected R1, coming down towards pivot here. DAX also rejected R1, but nowhere near our daily pivot just yet. Okay, then that brings us to 30. Even if the FTSE closes below, this may be a relatively nice opportunity to get long as we bounce off previous structure. Okay, so something I'm just going to pull up really quick. By the way, the reason I'm sort of talking through all this as well, Kyra, is because I'm also recording this for a YouTube video. So just bear with me if I'm rambling a bit. Got slides, there we go. Good, thanks. 4%, you're up 4% in FTMO and 2% on the other challenge. That's really good. Nice work, my friend. Is that phase one or phase two? Okay, so here is a little bit of an explainer for anyone that may be new. So essentially, we're taking Trader Tom's SRS and anti-SRS theory, which basically means if we are within, or if the second candle of London Open is within the overnight range, we sell above and buy below. And the theory is if we are remaining within this sideways or the overnight range, price is going to continue to just bounce in between this range. So essentially, we're playing ping pong. The other option is if London is above the overnight range, that tells us bulls are in control, the market is has a bullish bias short term, so we buy above and buy below. And then vice versa, if we open below the overnight range, we sell above and sell below. This is the theory I'm working with, but this can be a little bit more discretional depending on technical levels or anything else that might influence this. So you can see I've been working on collecting some bits of data and previous examples from this year so far. Not finished that, but it will be shared in the Discord once I have enough data. Okay. Seems like a quiet morning today. I suppose it's just Friday. I guess Sean's probably on his school run. Okay, I'm going to stay muted for a while, drink my coffee, and I'll be back in probably 5 to 8 minutes once this candle starts coming to a close, and then we can start planning for a trade. You're in phase one, started 2 weeks ago. I got to say, to be up on phase one in 2 weeks is impressive. It's good work. Yeah, nice job, my friend. All right, we're seeing these markets start to catch a bit of a bid here. Rejection from the London low here, or the initial London 15-minute candle. So obviously we take the second one and mark up our lows, assuming that is the low for now. Yep. So let's see how we close here. So when I execute, or if I execute the position, I will swap to CTrader over TradingView so we can manage the position. Um, However, for now, TradingView remains the analysis software. Okay, okay. So we are coming into the candle close now. We've got 2 minutes left. Um, DAX is catching a bid. FTSE is stalled. Seems buyers are stepping in, but it's not convincing just yet. DAX remains in the overnight range here. So let me just mark that up here. Overnight range. Same thing with the FTSE. So essentially, if we can close pretty much where we are, we'll be sellers above, buyers below, looking for the range to continue sideways. Um, won't be looking for a huge move. Just looking to catch a couple of pips here and there where we can, or a couple of points, I should say, not pips. So let's just mark up the high for now. Never mind. Looks like we might be getting a new high printed here. Very, very tight range actually on the FTSE. Um, DAX is a little bit wide. No perfect situation here, but that's fine. So the thing is, in this situation, the FTSE, in theory, could come up and correct the initial 8:30 open here. However, if it doesn't do that and we do see the break lower, we could end up running all the way down towards 8,960. So it could be a runner either way, but it's obviously a case of just making sure we get in on the right side. All right, looks like we are possibly looking for buyers at this point here. So I'm going to get ready to execute a long on the FTSE. Um, just waiting to see how this 5 minute candle behaves. The reason I'm looking to be a buyer, even though it should really be a seller, I'm just looking at the previous structure here from yesterday. This rejection is quite a convincing opportunity to get long. So I think we could see something come out of this. So I'm actually going to just check spreads. Is it acceptable? Not really. Yeah, so the spreads are a little bit wide on the FTSE if we compare it to the DAX. It's just a bit too much. Got 3 minutes left on this 5 minute, so if we can continue to see some bullish momentum, that's fine. We'll see. It is Friday, and I've done pretty well this week, so I'm not looking to be overly aggressive. Okay, I'm gonna go in with FTSE here and just test the waters a little bit. Very small position. It's only just under $15. Sorry, just under 15. Look to scale in here if we can see a continued push up. So this is pretty much the position here. So we'll see. Getting a push. I'm going to get ready to um, scale in and trail the initial stop potentially. So we've got minute 40 left on this candle. So I'll scale in on the next candle, just in case we do see some sort of rejection here. I don't want to be overly aggressive. DAX isn't following through either way here, so nothing to do there. Looking good so far. Let's just make sure we can continue to see this. Actually, going to move the stop up slightly to just the low of the candle. We've seen some convincing buyers step in, so if they fail now, I don't want to be in the position anyway, and I'll be stopped out and then looking to short if we break lower. So that's the worst case. Let me just trail stop up a bit. Um, and then we've got 20 seconds until new candle goes. We can get something to run here. It'd be a nice way to end the week. Scaling into the footsie. See if we can catch something interesting. I'll probably be taking profits way earlier than my take profit levels. This is just as a worst case or best case if we do get a massive pump of volume here. May or may not work. We might see sellers step back in and push lower, but either way, risk is managed in this case. We've got 13, so I've got a little over 1.5%. DAX is stepping up a bit, but it just remains range bound. I would actually ideally like to get into a short on the DAX, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. As I said earlier, I've had a good week so far, so I'm not going to be very demanding of the market today. So if we can just have a pop, correct a bit of this candle, I'll be looking to take profits. I've got no interest in holding anything for too long or having much of an expectation for the markets today. I managed to catch a pretty nice move here on New Zealand yen as well, actually. Let's do that while we wait for this trade to play out here. So this is for YouTube, by the way. Deezer, I'm recording the video at the same time, so this is going to be uploaded. That's why I'm talking so much. So during this move here, we had the Trump and Powell news. So Trump said he was going to fire Powell, or that was the headline. Markets freaked out. Safe havens rallied. Obviously, you can see this is the yen appreciating against the New Zealand dollar. Gold pumped up as well. And that news was bullshit, to be quite honest with you. I mean, Trump doesn't have the legal authority to fire Powell. So I knew that that headline was going to either be wrong or is a fake headline, whatever it was. I just knew it was going to be bullshit. So I used that opportunity to buy into this market and managed to get out quite nicely. Made, I think it was about 2% ish on this trade, roughly. So that was quite good. So let's get back to the foot. Let's see what's going on. Have we just been stopped out? Nah, nothing's going on here. Slow, actually. We're seeing a very little amount of volume, so it makes me a little bit cautious. Okay, so I'm losing interest in the footsie here just because of the lack of follow through. So I think if we can just have some sort of move, I'll look to close this position, as small as it is. By the way, for people on YouTube, the reason these positions are so small is because, as I showed at the start of the video, I'm still collecting data and trying to fully learn this strategy. So I am live trading it now, but as you can see, very, very small position sizes. You know, I've got $9 on this one and $13 on this one. So it's very, very minor, but this is just so I can execute, feel the spreads, get the vibe of the market in real live conditions. Obviously, you've got trading view here, but obviously there's no spreads on here, and it's not with my broker. This is with Pepperstone, and the IC markets is with the C traders with IC markets. So yeah, you should get the idea. So the 15 still looks good, but it's just this 5 minute. It's been a little bit of a bummer at the moment, but let's see if we can just break these highs. We might be set to go higher. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to trail stops to the previous entry. So at least one position then is break even. If we end up coming back down, actually, sorry, let me just trail stops a little bit lower, just below the previous candle wick. There we go, just to allow a little bit of room. I'm not going to scale in again. In theory, maybe I should if we can close around here. That would be maybe an idea, but again, I'm just being a little bit more conservative today. You know what? Let's just get out. That's a nice little return there. I think that was $6. $6 made. Not bad in how long? I mean, that was. It doesn't say the price, but oh, sorry, it doesn't say the amount that we made. But either way, that's a coffee. a coffee for watching a couple of candles. I'll take it. So there we go. That was footsie done. In theory, again, probably could have left it and caught a bit more, but as I said, it's Friday. I've already had a very good week, so I'm definitely not interested in being greedy or trying to do too much. So I'm going to go. I'm going to enjoy my Friday, and I'm going to do some other things. So, Duza, I appreciate you being here, buddy, and everyone else. I'll see you later. Have a good day.